Hello and welcome to Barbara's podcast. This is the show for women, all about health, nutrition, and wellness. It's the show that will empower you and inspire you to create a healthier lifestyle.
Hello and welcome to the show where we explore the world of holistic health and wellness. Today, I'm excited to introduce Dawn Norby, a survivor as well as a mother of a survivor who found a way to help others find natural relief by getting rid of pharmaceutical meds. She is the owner of Budding Botanicals. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you for having me, Barbara.
It's my pleasure. Well, Dawn, your story is quite interesting. Your son's health journey began in 2006 with a diagnosis of aplastic anemia and later PNH. Can you share how you and your family navigated this incredibly challenging time, both emotionally and physically?
It was a challenging time, but neither my husband nor myself knew that our son was not going to be okay. We knew he was going to be fine. And that's the way we handled this disease and this diagnosis. So he was diagnosed in 2006, and then in 2011, he was diagnosed with a PNH, and that has a 15-year lifespan.
Could I just interrupt you for our listeners? If they don't know what PNH is, could you just tell us what it is?
I actually don't know. I just know it's three very long words with nocturnal in the middle. Okay. But it's where your blood cells completely stop regenerating.
Okay.
So the only cure is a bone marrow transplant. Left untreated, he's got 15 years to live. Okay. Basically, it's the same thing as aplastic anemia. So we chose to get him on the list for a bone marrow transplant, and he had one in 2012. It took 45 days, and he was out of the hospital from a non-related donor. Gentleman from Germany saved our son's life, which we'll be forever grateful. And then 2 weeks after they said he was cured, I noticed a lump in my breast, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So going through all that pain and everything, it was really hard, and realized that my son and I went through the same thing treatment-wise, so we could discuss and figure out each other how to deal with the pain, because neither one of us wanted to deal with any of the pharmaceutical medications.
Yeah.
The doctors didn't give us any treatment or any suggestions on how to handle the pain naturally. So we both dealt with it. And then after I was done with my treatment, I wanted to volunteer for Make-A-Wish, which is what helped get my son through his treatment and his pain, because he was focused on our trip to Scotland where he went and played golf.
Yes.
And so I finally was cured. I was good. My first wish kiddo had leukemia, and his mother came to me and said, "Can you help me? We don't want him on the pain pills the doctors are prescribing. Can you help us look into something more natural?" So that's how I came about figuring out CBD, because we did not want something. He was only 8 at the time. We didn't want something to get him high. So we knew cannabis was going to be out of the question for him.
Okay.
So I went to Google University, and I went to the doctor's office and spoke with them. And they said, as long as it's all natural and organic, go for it. So we did. I looked into CBD, and I ended up making a salve out of an isolate from CBD. We had a friend who owned a dispensary, spoke with him, learned a lot from him. And we chose to go with an isolate because it's pure CBD. And there's no THC in it. So we knew that it would be safe, that he couldn't get high, even though he was only using it topically.
Yes.
And this poor wish kiddo hadn't been able to play with his brother for almost 2 years because of all the pain he was in from the chemo. So I took it over to her house and she rubbed it on him and he came bounding down the stairs and asked his brother to go play on the trampoline. And it was then I knew that maybe there's something to this CBD. So I looked into it more and my husband says, I think we got something here. Let's see if we can give it to kids with pain and going through the side effects of chemo and radiation. So that's how my business was born.
Oh, that's an incredible story.
Thank you.
And CBD is, I think, an incredible product, an incredible substance.
Agreed.
One of my favorite salves does have CBD mixed in with some other essential oils like lavender, which is very calming and soothing and does help with joint pain.
Yes, we have one just like that. A nice salve with lavender. We have a salve with tangerine for people who don't like the lavender. Our tinctures have peppermint, so it's easy on the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great little plant.
So are your products specifically just for children? Or is it for everyone, for adults as well?
Adults as well. We have a lot of military customers. We have a lot of sports athletes.
Yeah.
It's great for arthritis. And we also deal a lot with kids with ADD and ADHD and depression because they don't want to be on the Adderall or the medications that are prescribed. So they end up taking the CBD instead, which is non-psychoactive, it's non-addictive. And the only side effect you get from that is if you take too much, you get a little sleepy.
Yes, absolutely. So, well, what advice would you give to parents with children who have challenging diseases? How did you get through that?
Communication, a lot of communication between myself and my husband, with our son. Granted, he was only 9 when he was diagnosed. He was 14 when he went through the bone marrow transplant. And I think the hardest part for us was when my son, when he was first diagnosed, he looked at me and he goes, "Mom, am I going to die?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I've never lied to you before." And I go, "Yeah, you are going to die. This is not what's going to kill you."
Yeah.
Just, "Oh, okay, let's do it then, Mom." So we've always been very honest. We've asked the doctors. I think it's good to be your own advocate. I think it's good to question authority when it's appropriate. If you're not happy with an answer, get a second opinion, always. And always ask if there is a different road we can go down when it comes to pain relief and things like that. You want to make sure it's not going to hinder or cause any altercation with any medication you're already taking. So always speak with your doctor first. But going the natural route worked for us, has worked for many, many people. But it has to be your choice. But I think it's best if you are to go and speak with your doctor one-on-one.
Being so many years cancer-free, did you work on perhaps nutrition or adding in any other supplements or stress techniques afterwards?
We've always tried to be very calm and not jump the gun. Yeah. And it took many years to be able to master that, I think. We did have to go all natural while Trevor was in the hospital. And everything that he had when he was in the hospital, if it was opened, he had to finish it within 1 hour or throw it away.
Oh my goodness.
Which was crazy. And he goes, "Mom, I want watermelon. I want watermelon." And so I had to go find a store, find a knife, get watermelon, bring it in. And what he didn't finish in an hour had to go in the trash. So Yeah, we did. We gave up the sugar. We did all of that. Unfortunately, we didn't stick with that. We're all back on the regular stuff now.
Yeah.
But we do take a lot of supplements, natural vitamins, and trying to stay as well as we can, working out, moving. He is still good. He is 27 now, and he is just turned professional for golfing. So he's following his dream, and that's all thanks to modern medicine and the bone marrow donor that we are eagerly awaiting to meet, hopefully next January.
Yeah, that's incredible news that your son is pursuing his dream.
We're grateful he's around for it. And
yes, and I was going to say, and you, a successful business.
Yes, I enjoy my business. I never in a million years would have thought I would get into this business. I was a special education teacher. I was happy doing that. Quit when he got ill and decided I don't think I want to go back. I want to try something else. And this basically just fell in my lap. And I really, really enjoy what I do. I enjoy helping people. And my favorite part of my business, I think, is educating people, because so many people believe that CBD is from the cannabis plant only, and it's not. We get our CBD from the hemp plant. So there is no THC unless it's cross-pollinated with a bee. So because we deal with so much military, we have to be able to have a product that will not give a false positive on a blood or urine test. So that was very important to us. It still is. And that's why we're still with the CBD and the isolate.
Are there any other cannabinoids in the product? Because I know that there's CBD and CBG and there's other cannabinoids. Are there any others in your product?
There are not at this time. We are working with our company that helps us manufacture the hemp for CBG and CBN. Yes. To help other ailments. But right now we are just CBD, but we are looking into more. I mean, we've expanded from our salve. We've got tinctures, we've got collagen and CBD infused face creams.
Oh, sounds wonderful.
Yeah, we have DEET free mosquito repellent, hand and body lotions, pet treats. We've now come up with a chemical-free sunblock, as well as a product for fever blisters, cold sores, and the HVS, sorry.
Do you ship all over the world, or is it just in the US?
We have shipped all over the world. The only place we don't ship to is Australia. Okay. And that's because they don't agree with CBD.
Yeah. Well, in closing, where can our listeners get in touch with you?
We've got a website. It's Budding Botanicals, Budding Botanicals, Botanicals, and then USA.com.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Dawn, for sharing your expertise and insights with us today and about your inspiring journey as a family. It's been an absolute pleasure having you as my guest.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Barbara's podcast. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter or e-courses. Celebrate life, and see you at the next episode.